Largest study to date of its kind shows that hydroxychloroquine does more bad than good for coronavirus patients.
The study of 96,000 hospitalized coronavirus patients on 6 continents found that those who received that drug, promoted by Donald Trump as a, quote, game changer in the fight against the virus, had a significantly higher risk of death.
Taking hydroxychloroquine, despite mounting evidence that it doesn't work against COVID-19 and could, in fact, be harmful.
Mr. Trump said his hydroxychloroquine treatment would likely end today. The same day, a leading medical journal, The Lancet, warned not only does the drug not offer benefits, it could cause harm.
That moved on from absurd and sort of insane to a potentially deadly threat today when The Lancet published the results of a new study.
But a new study published in the medical journal The Lancet today says the drug did not help hospitalized coronavirus patients. Instead, that study says it made them more likely to die.
On Monday, he announced he is taking the anti-malaria drug hydroxychloroquine. A new study links the drug to increased risk of death and heart arrhythmia in COVID patients.
By the way, hat tip Daily Caller for that. Thanks, Keith, during that, because I listened to it too. It's, I hear it, so I had a second there to gather who it was. You have to hat tip appropriately. It's the right thing to do. Folks, I have to apologize for my frustrations here today. I can't get over the country we're living. I really can't. I'm having a hard time getting my arms around the fact that we supposedly live in a free society where the one entity who are supposed to be the guardians of truth, that's what they're there for. They are literally written into our Constitution, freedoms of the press. It is right there for any person with the literacy of a first grader to read. They are a protected class in our Constitution. Their freedoms are guaranteed. Our founding fathers thought the press, an honest, fair press, was so important, they wrote it into our Constitution. Engineers aren't in there. Doctors aren't in there. There's nothing about astronauts in there. There's nothing about you. I mean, these are teachers. These are important people. They are not in the Constitution, but the press is. And these complete buffoons who have been granted this enormous responsibility to be the guardians of truth and justice, to expose corruption, to bring truth to power, have totally abdicated their responsibility, and I would argue to you, have become a bigger threat to your safety and security in the republic than even some corrupt politicians, which is totally an inversion of the purpose of a free press. They were supposed to call out the corrupt politicians, not facilitate them. Why do I bring that up? Because that's a rogues gallery of the current media motley crew of losers. Moscow Maddow, Mr. Potato Head, Brian Stelter, all the other was Chuck Todd. And I mean, just the gold and silver and bronze medal losers of liars in the media Olympics. And they cite a study in The Lancet that says, listen, this hydroxychloroquine, this could be really dangerous. This could even kill people with heart arrhythmias. You know what's interesting? I did not see an equal amount of coverage to this retraction on that Lancet study right here. Lancet, New England Journal of Medicine, retract controversial COVID-19 studies based on Surgisphere data. Did you see an equal amount of, hey, listen, I'm sorry, we screwed up. We shouldn't have attacked this hydroxychloroquine based on this Lancet study. It's been retracted. But by the way, remember The Lancet? Yeah, The Lancet. Here's a screenshot here for those of you watching on Rumble. The Lancet, the same pseudo-scientific magazine journal signed by Peter Daszak, Jeremy Farrar, and Joanna Mazzett of Predict that supported the idea that it was not a lab leak and it was a zoonotic origin, a natural origin of the coronavirus. There's The Lancet right there. The Lancet did that too. So The Lancet waved everybody off the lab leak theory, which looks likely now. And The Lancet also published this, which they were forced to retract, saying hydroxychloroquine is a very dangerous drug and could actually kill people. Gosh, that's awfully strange. Do you see how the press, the corruption of the press in America has filtered down to Hollywood, to elites, to academia, to science? Ladies and gentlemen, it is not hyperbolic to state every institution of importance right now in America that could lead the way in calling truth to power has been absolutely corrupted. Absolutely corrupted. The only people we can rely on, the leaders we have been waiting for, to quote my friend Ginny Thomas, are us. You are responsible for the truth now. The truth tellers are you. You have been lied to by scientists. You have been lied to by government officials. You've been lied to by science journals. You've been lied to by the media. You've been lied to politicians. Trump was right again. It appears this drug could be effective. And that there is another conspiracy. It's not a theory, this conspiracy. It is an actual conspiracy. It's not a theory. I just played for you media people harping on a Lancet study that was retracted in what appears to be a coordinated effort not to call out hydroxychloroquine, but to attack Donald Trump through a drug that's been used relatively safely for decades. And we have experience right here in my house. I've taken it. You want to toast your muffins a little more? Here's an email Dr. Fauci received from an Eric Nielsen. Appears to be one of his scientific buddies here in the field, in the arena. He said to Dr. Fauci, look at the date on this, March of 2020. He said, the other drug I have and have told my family and some friends to get is called hydroxychloroquine. It also seems to be effective and safe. That's interesting. We're just hearing about this now. Dr. Fauci seems to have heard about it in March of 2020. Folks, it's falling apart. I'm really, it's falling. There's no excuse to quit. I am not done. This country is worth saving. It is the greatest country in the history of humankind, and it is still the greatest time to be alive. And damn it, it's worth saving. There's no walking away. There's no quit. There will never be a quit. But I'm telling you, we have to be reaching rock bottom soon, because what's going on right now is a total disgrace. We have the potential of a Chinese bioweapon unleashed on the world that killed millions of people. People are turning up dead who were involved in the creation of a vaccine. We had a drug that could have helped, which our academics, media clowns, and politicians colluded to suppress the results of that drug to make sure their political opponents got elected out of office and were made fun of. What kind of society do we live in right now? This is a disgrace of the highest order on the disgrace scale of 1 to 100. This is a 99.9.